Okay, let's move on to our other subject, conditions. These conditions are mostly agreed upon. Number one, the Khuffain, you can wipe over the Khuffain if you were doing wudu. You wore them while you had tahara, okay, and then you wore Khuffain. And if you needed wudu, you can wipe over the Khuffain, not when you need ghusl. Everyone agreed with that. If you need to do ghusl, even though you just wore your Khuffain little while ago, if you need ghusl, you must take them off. Okay, ghusl is not done with wiping, only wudu is done like that. Okay, number one. A person should have put on Khuffain while he was in wudu. What does that mean? It means that a person had completed his wudu, then put on his leather socks. Who says that? Except Hanafis. Hanafis, they do allow, let's say, I was doing wudu, I washed my one feet and I wore my one socks, and then washed my other feet and washed my other socks. So I did all wudu, at the end I washed my one feet and I wore one leather socks, and washed the second feet and I wore my leather socks. Other madhab says that doesn't count. Because when you wash your one feet and you wore it, you were not in tahara yet. You were not in tahara yet, because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Well, da'huma فَإِنِّي أَدْخَلْتُهُمَا طَاهِرَتَيْنِ." He said, leave the socks because I put them on in tahara. So they say, well, you are not in tahara yet. The Hanafis, they say that once you wash your one feet, your tahara for this feet is complete. Next point, this is from the Maliki madhab. Maliki say, Khuffain should be your normal Khuffain, not the one you wear to show off. If someone wore Khuffain to show off or to be proud, like some people have this habit, they wear like Nikes, Air, to show off, showing off shoes, to show people. They say if you wore Khuffain or your footwear which was to show off, they said the masah is not allowed on that. That's some of the Malikis, not even all of them. But that I wanted to put it in so you get the understanding. So how common it is now for youngsters to go out of their way to wear something to show off to others. Where the people before, they wouldn't even allow your tahara to be complete on wearing something like that. So, but anyway, they said, some of the Malikis, they said, if you were wearing these Khuffain to show off, or if you were, if they were part of some sort of a elite group, or you were a ruler and you had, some sort of, to show your status, they say you can't do masa on them. Okay. And also, Malikis, as they said that you shouldn't be sinful for wearing these Khuffain. If you were sinful for wearing them, you can't do masa on them. For example, if you're in ihram, are you allowed to wear Khuffain in ihram? You're not allowed to wear it. Someone in Hajj or Umrah, you're not allowed to wear Khuffain. So you are sinful. So that means you can't do masa on these. Or they were made of pig skin of a pig. They are haram to a najas. You will be sinful for wearing the najas. Or they are najas themselves. You can't wipe on them. Or they weren't yours and you weren't allowed to wear them and you were wearing them. You can't do masa on them. Or if they were made of silk. As a man, you shouldn't be wearing silk. You can't do. Or if they had silk on them. Malikis, to be honest, they don't allow anything but leather. But anything which was haram for you to wear, you can't do masa on it. Okay. Next point, it must cover all of the feet, like we said earlier, from the toes to the bones which are sticking out, Ka'bayn. Yeah. And very important one. These Khuffain, you must be able to walk in it comfortably. In order for you to be able to do masa on them, they should be those which you can walk on comfortably. Firstly, they should fit on you or your leg without you tying them. Like see your socks, how they fit on. You know, they should sit on you. They should be shape of the feet. They should sit on your feet. They shouldn't be like a wrapper and then you tie it up. Otherwise, they will just open up. Most of the Khuffain I've seen in our times, they're all correctly made. So, firstly, you should be able to walk on them. The problem with nowadays, some people do masa on socks, they are so thin. You can't walk on them. How much should you be able to walk on them? Hanafis, they said, you should be able to walk on them at least 1 farsakh. 1 farsakh is about 12,000 qadam, steps. They say if you can walk on them 12,000, it should be material strong enough to hold on walking in it. And they said at least 1 farsakh, which is 12,000 steps. Some said 3 miles, some said between 5 and 6,000 meters. Okay. Now remember that Ahnaf, they do not allow them to be made of materials such as glass, wood, iron, steel, metal. Alright. Malikis, they also added that, well, they said you should be able to walk in them normally and they shouldn't be loose on the feet. The feet shouldn't be slipping back and forth in it. They should fit on your feet. Khuffain shouldn't be double the size of your feet or the wider. It's too wide that your feet, they don't stay in it. It should be somewhat like your shoes are or socks are normally. Okay. The Shafi'is, they said it should be wearable. So imagine you are allowed to wear it for 3 days and 3 nights. That means you can walk in it for quite a while distance. You can wear it for 3 days and 3 nights. If it's gonna end up into shreds and rip out in few hours of walking, then that's not the Khuffain they're talking about. They say it should be material strong enough to withhold some walking. They say it should be made of skin or else something really strong. If it's not skin, if it's not leather, it's got to be something really strong. It should cover all the feet like we said before. How do you know if it's not skin, if it's not made of leather, how do you know if it's suitable? Because if you have, let's say you wipe your wet hand on your socks and you can feel the wetness in the feet, in the skin. What does that tell you? If you wipe your wet hands on the socks and you can feel the wetness in the skin, what does that tell you? It can't stop the wetness to go through the skin. How is it going to stop najasa going in the skin? So it should be somewhat thick and should be able to hold on. If you wipe with your, I'm not saying pour water on it, but your wet hand, if you wipe it and you feel the water in your skin, that's maybe it's not thick enough. Maybe it's not the type. It should be thick, proper thick. Nowadays you can find really thick. These football socks, they're quite thick. You can use them, I'm sure, for those who allow non-skin. So anyway, Shafi say that they should be thick enough, strong enough, and it should be clean. Clean in sense that they're not made of something haram. They're not made of, skin of a dead animal, or dead as in mean like non-slaughtered or pig, or it should be no visible filth on it. Hanabila are the only one. They allow Khuffain and they also allow Jawrabain or the At-Tasakhin or At-Tasakhin or At-Tasakhin. They allow that as well because there are a hadith. Malikis, they say every hadith which mentions jorab is either interpreted, they either interpret it as skin. They say everything was skin back then. There was no cotton. They had wool, but they said the Arab used to wear skin. So they either interpret it like that, or the other hadith, they say they are not strong enough, they are weak. So the Malikis, they only accept the view of having socks made of skin. Hanafis, they say you can have really thick, strong non-skin, or at least have the bottom of it should be the leather, and the top can be strong material, like a thick socks. The bottom has to be, because if you're walking, you should be able to walk in it. So if you have cotton or wool, how much can you walk in it? So they say you should be able to walk 12,000 steps minimum. So they say the bottom should at least be of a strong material like leather, even if the top is not. That's the Hanafi's view. And Shafi'is, they say everyone prefers leather, but they say if it's non-leather, it's got to be a strong enough material from cloth, from cotton or from wool, but it should be made really strong to withhold good walking and wiping over it without you feeling all the wetness inside. So the Hanabila, they do allow, even if it's made of different materials, and just for to be extreme, you know, wood, glass, metal, you know, in a people can have metal if they are fighting. You know, back in the days, knights had metal armor all the way.